Alright, Mouth and Mara back again. This time, Hjalth is going through Ustengrav.
Let's have some fun.
One of my favorite dungeons. I think I'm going to be eating an Elsewhere fondue here. Not usually necessary, but good precaution, and I have plenty of them and plenty of moon sugar too. Now, as I said before, this place can often be kind of bugged. Sometimes you fight necromancers here, sometimes you fight necromancers fighting bandits, sometimes the necromancers and bandits are allied, sometimes the necromancers are fighting the bandits who are not fighting back. Hear people ahead there. I see somebody working over. So let me use my illusion spell here. Muffle. So I can sneak around and detect these.
Thralls of yours are slower than Argonians.
Not doing subtitles, but they complain about the thralls being slow laborers. Oh, now this time it's the other way. The necromancers are peaceful and the bandits are fighting them.
Interesting.
Oh. Darn it! There we go. Okay. That was... Oh. So necromancers, as you can see, raise the dead a lot. That's their main thing. And it's the main hazard about them. Because their actual spells are usually like sucky frost spells that are not a big threat. What kind of bandit are you? Regular old bandit. But raising the dead is problematic when there's mages around because, of course, mages are moderately threatening opponents. Because their attacks are so hard to dodge.
So, you have a necromancer, the dead necromancer. The necromancer raises the dead necromancer, who can then use their spells. Can that dead necromancer then raise another dead necromancer?
Well, I had to look it up to check, but no, your raised necromancers won't raise anybody else.
So necromancers are a problem as long as they have corpses. Without corpses, they're a joke.
So, the question is, how can you dispose of corpses? Well, if you're a warrior, you're basically out of luck. Your only option is to hope for lucky beheadings with that one perk that lets you do that on occasional power attacks. That stops any raised dead spell from working.
But if you're a mage, you've got some options. If you have high-level destruction, you can get the shock perk that will just disintegrate all people that you're killing, which is useful on its own right, but also just prevents it from being raised. And the other trick is... Oh, here's a dead one. Go up to them and reanimate them yourself. There's supposed to be necromancers fighting Draugr here. Don't know why the other necromancers weren't helping them, but they aren't. Don't know why they aren't having the bandits fight them either, but they aren't. Apprentice Conjurers. They summon dangers. They're more of a problem. So, oh, this is a high elf, I think. Okay, great. Give me some mana. I love it when they use wards, because when they use wards, one, they're wasting their mana. Two, they can't full cast spells at me, so I will be healed up pretty easily without taking much damage. But it also does kind of waste my mana pretty fast. But let me make these guys furious with each other fast. Got this fire mage. A ward, no matter how ill-charged, will fully block any kind of spell. But then you get stunned. So it's terrible for the player, but NPCs are usually alright with it. They just like kind of zap me in passing there. Okay. I think I better go to actual summons here. Because he was a zombie, then he died. They're happy to go back to actually being dead. I think zombies are currently terrible.
Oh. It's completely unrelated, but I once read a short story online, very short, about a zombie apocalypse, basically, from the main character's perspective, and as you read it, you realize that they are the zombie and they remain completely conscious but unable to stop their actions. So it's really sad because you found the person who hate it. It's really good. So being a zombie is terrible, yes.
So, Fire Mage down. That's the remains of that person who I raised. And more Draugr. Restless Draugr, but not as... Oh, the Conjurer's still alive. Well, the Conjurer's a bigger problem for me. So let me help this. Don't let her heal. Great. Alright, now I better get out of that. Okay, so let me switch to Turn Undead. And it's always tempting, but always a bad idea to try to, duck under their guard like a clever person and, hit them with a Turn Undead spell, but it usually gets a kill. The smart way is do it like this. There we go. And then you also don't want them luring other enemies to you, so try to get behind them on the other side and start blasting with this side so run back to the entrance, hopefully. It doesn't always work that way, but... Happens that there's no more enemies in this area anyway.
That's a dangerous looking 3-pronged thing there.
Yes, these are often traps, but this one is not. They're some of the most dangerous, problematic traps in the game. They typically shoot spells at you, and they can be almost impossible to see, and they can be ludicrously powerful. So, Undead Dungeon from here on out, therefore I will switch to our Whisper from Detect Life, and I will switch to Turn Undead on a hotkey.
Lost!
Several undead up there, but this area is clean. So I happen to know that there's just mostly urns back here with random items in them. I'm kind of burning Elsewhere Fondue time at the moment, but do it anyway because you probably should know that this isn't the right path. Great.
The best path to follow is the one with the treasure on it.
This is clearly a secret passage here, and you can check it on the map and see it. I spent a long time trying to figure out how to open it, but the entrance is not over here. This is the exit to it. It's pretty useless, considering which help you have to go to find it, but I'll show you guys where it is. It's like one chest back there. More potions. Potions are good. I think I already have like 100 pounds of them at the moment. Great. More potions. This is a restoration book, so I'm happy to find that. Friend Train Restoration to 40. In theory, it's best to save those books when you're really high level, because they give you one guaranteed level of that skill regardless. It's best to save it when levels are hard to come by. But on the other hand, like getting to certain thresholds of a skill can be worth a lot more than simply going from level 90 to level 91 or whatever.
Books always give you a full level?
Yes, always.
I have no idea how I never noticed that.
Maybe you picked up books that you thought were skill books and they weren't. You picked up a book you already read before and were surprised it didn't give you a bonus and never concluded that it was...
Well, no, I'm just surprised I never noticed the pattern of, oh look, I read a book and I leveled up. So when I didn't level up, I figured I'd already read it.
Ah. So here's the secret passage there. With a bunch of gold on the table and a bunch of tankards I don't want to bother picking up. So here's the switch. And this opens up into like a whole tunnel that leads back toward that area that we saw briefly before. Not much else in there. There's a disappointing lack of deadly traps in this dungeon. Other than that, I really like it. So yeah, over here about somewhere there should be a hidden switch or lever or something that opens up into that passage. But I think I see it. I know it's around here in this room somewhere. Yeah, whatever. It's not important. The important thing is just that chest which has junk items in it.
Lost!
So that's the secret passage thing. There are a lot of secrets to find in Usengrau, which is one of the many reasons I think it's one of my favorite dungeons. I'll try to show you guys most of this as I go through. So, 3 Draugr, at least 2 of them probably sleeping in this next room. Oh, they weren't sleeping where I thought they were. Screw it, shouldn't they? Regular old Draugr. Easily dealt with. Oh, running away, that's smart. This is a caster Draugr, so that's nice. Give me mana. Thank you, Atronach.
Give me mana or give me death?
I don't want to give him the option though, just give me mana. I think there's one more who might not have woken up.
Lost!
Really a deep sleeper.
Wake him up and slap him?
Wake up, time to die. Mage runner. Alright, so, up here to the next zone. The first one is fairly small, but lots of fighting going on between all the different factions. So, fun stuff. Potions, chests. I've missed some coin pushes on the ground here that just aren't really worth the trouble of turning around and pick up. They're hidden behind various niches and alcoves. But out we go. This zone is cleared. Coin purse. That didn't die there from the accidental impact that sent me flying. So Usengrau, another thing I like about it is that it's kind of a mixed layout dungeon. Part of it's like a typical Nord ruin, part of it's this like strange underground giant cave here, which is cool, although it is strange and a little bit silly. Full of undead in this area. Lots and lots and lots of them.
to get some experience.
Yep. Feel them moving nearby. Great. Maybe I'll use Muffle to go undetected by these other ones that are all around. How much time do I have left on Elsewhere Fondue? Three minutes. I'll make the best of it. Here are traps. They'll set you on fire. This gives me back mana, so trap in a certain sense, but I love this room here. It's a fun room. Just this layout, we have to run around different bridges and this whole 3D maze to get to you.
Sounds like the familiar cartoon scene running in and out of doors.
Yes, it's very much like that. They're a pretty common feature in Nordgren, though. I always think they're pretty fun. You get stuck in that step there, regardless. I'll probably oh, nice dodge. Probably refuel my mana as it goes by. Thank you. Do it again. Thank you. Less than I was hoping for. Well, I will equip that and make sure that Foos, not loss. That would be my loss. Everybody else's too if they got me killed. It didn't charge up. Oh no! I put down the button I thought, but it didn't charge. Okay. Yeah. Oops. It's a tricky one that way. It can go wrong in a lot of ways and get you killed, so always be careful with that. Well, I guess it gains some restoration XP anyway. So, there is food on the table. This is completely inexplicable. I would not touch any of that. Not even this Idar cheese wheel right there. Out of character, I'm tempted to take because I know the food is harmless, and I have had startlingly bad luck finding Idar cheese wheels, but in character I should not think that the innkeepers will continue to refuse to sell it to me, so it's a common item, I'll come across plenty of it in time. Potions, I think there's a chest back here. These shelves have lots of semi-hidden items.
You know, cheese is supposed to be moldy.
I guess it would be cooking it with alcohol and like high heat, so...
It's just high quality cheese that has been aged remarkably.
To my annoyance, the Food and Drug Administration refuses to allow cheeses that have been sold aged for less than 60 days in the U.S. It means I can't buy French Reblochon cheese, which I would like to use to make some of these dishes that I've been trying to cook.
Is that why we don't have cheese yet?
That's why we don't have the cheese yet.
Man.
2 Draugr. Oh, so I'm casting from one hand. That's nuisance. That guy's running away. He's not really trying to run, I think he's just confused about the pathing. Again, flame astronauts don't ignite actual oil that they're on, somehow. They'll be back.
I guess they leave a trail of flames. My previous theory was...
They float, but no.
No, proven wrong.
I just torched the suits and accidentally get me later. I guess the Draugr really went off and found him, so there he is. Maybe I'll turn him. Oh wait, I have that hockey. What have I been doing this whole time? Okay, so back in here, I saw a locked gate, and there's 2 switches to open each of these 2 gates. So I'll pull that switch. I'll pull this switch. Now I think, out of character, there are no trap gates in Skyrim, really. Other than when you're trapped into a room with enemies that unlocks something afterward. There's no just like you're trapped in a room and starve to death, which I would think would be a very common type of trap. I'll just create an Atronach out there and tell it to pull the lever if anything bad happens. But that worked out. Okay. I think my Elsewhere Fondue time is pretty much done, but I'm mostly through the bigger fights. Lots of mop-up of skeletons from here on out. Troll skull that weighs an inexplicably small amount.
Maybe they have hollow bones.
That's probably true. We all know how fragile trolls are.
It's like one-hit monsters. I mean, their loot is certainly worth such.
Yeah. Yes, if it wasn't for how easy they are to kill, I would not bother taking their oh-so-valuable loot. But skeletons here. Skeletons are fragile. These have bows. They're pretty hazardous to me. It's a great resource for our warrior characters, because you get so many ancient Nord arrows here. Either, hand-delivered to your face, or just picked up from their skeletons, but...
You might be able to get a few in your knee, too.
Yes, if we're not careful.
But the guard life is a bit.
Yes, I would never want to be a guard. I mean, cousins are out fighting dragons.
No good bandit raids.
The lollygagging, complaining about stolen sweet rolls.
Oh, I was going to say that one. You have to deal with public disturbances, people shouting.
Makes people nervous. This looks incredibly dangerous to jump to, but Hjalti's very brave.
Or foolish. But his strategy seems to be kind of former.
It's still alive somehow back there. That's bad because I'm at low HP. Let me get behind this thing. They do heavy damage with those bows and arrows. Maybe I'll pull out the Staff of Jared Gallerson to get that back mana faster. Where are you?
Hiding behind the wood wall.
Oh, there it is. No, that's another. Another one's not even aware of me yet.
Oh.
Huh. Okay, I need another angle for this. One more down. Come on, come out. That torch is always burning because there's some kind of corpse on it. Oh, so this is a use for a shout, which I haven't seen used much, but it's pretty much worthless except for this purpose. But it just lets you cross distances.
See, now I always used to think you had to jump as well as sprint, and it was not a good idea.
I tried things like that myself for a long time. For those who just hit the button and it takes care of everything. Trying to do it yourself leads to issues.
Looking at the Skeleton King before he could even stand up.
Yes. Despise royalty. So, around here is like a secret little treasure chest. You can see it through this like window from the other side, but you can't figure out how to get there unless you know to go along that path. Always a soul gem there, guaranteed, if I can move. Not that soul gems are worth much to me, but... Oh wow, 3 gold! But yeah, I'm trying to show you guys all the numerous secret areas in here, so had to find that one. Let's drop on down.
Don't break an ankle.
There's danger from this undead all around, I imagine. But,
See, now that...
although there's plenty of spare ankles I could borrow, perhaps. Perform some amateur surgery. Well, these are clearly going to set me on fire. No, not that one.
Lost!
Jewels! And more troll skulls for some reason. Which you can't raise from the dead. I'd love to be able to, reanimate those and run around with like skull chomping on your enemies.
There might be a mod for that.
I hope there's a mod for reanimating dead horses. Oh, by the way, I don't need to go down here at all. That bridge is the correct direction, but it's a good place to go down for a couple of reasons. I will hit up this little chest over hereabouts first, I think. Just to get it so I don't have to backtrack to it later on. Then there's some secret stuff down here, plus there's a word wall for a very, very valuable word, which I deliberately, saved Dragon Soul for all this time. This is probably one of the top 3 best shouts in the entire game. You've got, like, Foos. Whirlwind Spin is just kind of necessary, so I guess it gets placed in the top 3 because you can't get by some areas without it. And this is the other fantastic utility shout.
This wasn't on that guy's list of the worst shouts, was it?
It was, actually. That guy was very foolish and not playing a high difficulty. So, Come Ethereal. I'm going to favorite it. If I was a warrior, I'd hotkey it, but I have all my hotkeys consumed at the moment. Let me demonstrate how it works.
Might need an enemy for that.
Yes. Oh, look. A waterfall.
I wonder what could be behind there.
Probably nothing, right? I mean, there's nothing behind waterfalls. Let me take off these clothes so they don't get soaked.
Yes, rushing naked.
I guess I can keep my hat on in my ring. Oh, look, a treasure chest is behind this thing. And a Draugr. So, here we go.
Fire!
So, take a swing at me. Oh, look, he does nothing.
Can you imagine, though, just waking up to see a naked man ghost?
Alright, so let me switch back to functional shouts here. And equip my actual clothes
I was
again.
gonna say, you wanna...
I think Dir Volan means die intruder, but I get some of these Draugr shouts mixed up.
For efficiency purposes, I should have let him fight the Atronach, but I felt like, doing that, just keep leveling that restoration, because I really want to hit 40 pretty soon. That's important for character advancement reasons. The Atronach just loves being in the water, huh?
You shooting fireballs through the waterfall?
Yep, and they work completely well, so. Now it's submerged! Oh, Skyrim. Alright, well, I'm going to take this stuff off again, so get back in there. And I'm going to get out the staff.
Lost.
Quite nearby. Just standing in the water. Hopefully, maybe that'll defend it, maybe. Now it's dead. Great. Where's the corpse? Come on. Did it bounce all the way back here? Wow. Garbage! And what's in the chest? Garbage!
Wow. You might be able to buy a sweet roll with that.
Not unless I spent some perks on speech.
Oh.
Let's see. Got everything back on? I think so. Alright, so back up I go. So, side air with a very useful shout, but not necessary. I just love, the non-linear nature of this dungeon, too. It's fun.
You can actually explore.
You can actually explore. Thanks to all the light in here, in this gigantic cavern with no light sources, but except for this little tiny crack in the ceiling, and it is, as I suspect, midnight out there. Skyrim is absurdly generous with their light sources. I mean, if it wasn't for that, Khajiit might actually be useful through the early game.
I wonder if there's a mod to reduce sliding to actual ways.
I think there are several, but it's just so annoying that people don't bother with it usually.
Yeah.
Oh, Garnet. Gotta check that guy. So I think there's no more enemies around here. We're gonna go up and loot that skeleton on these little potions. And then one of the more annoying little obstacles in the game. This is actually our second take of this due to shenanigans last time, where all kinds of crazy stuff happens.
And technical issues brought it to an untimely end.
Yes. Related to how many buttons had to be pressed to get this right. So, here's the way it works, basically. These stones, when you walk near each of them, they set those gates open. And then they close at a certain time. Or, if you do things the way they don't want, they just kind of force close for no good reason. So what you have to do, basically, is do things the silly way. What I think you should do is sprint through to conserve pound the whirlwind shout to get through, but that will not work. If you do that, they'll just make you hit an invisible wall, just to punish you for being smart. And then you'll have to go back and do it again. So go like this, shout immediately, run forward, and that works. It's the stupidest approach, but it's the only one that works. Any other one will just be stuck there for who knows how long. I usually get stuck there a couple times before I rediscovered that. It's annoying. Oh, spiders. I thought there were spiders in here. Not in the usual spot. Typically there's spiders up there, in this spot that's inaccessible. And flame traps on the ground. But that's a resource to me because... Let me just demonstrate something here. No, some of them don't go off. There's no real visual clue to it, unfortunately. But the important thing is to give me back mana, so they're good. Alright, yeah, here comes those spiders. They must have popped out of thin air, which is cheating, because I had just done our list for you guys, but whatever. I wonder if I can out-heal this stuff if I went all out. Close to it. If I equip my, resist magic ammo, I probably could. But it won't be doing that. That would be grinding and cheating. Well, for this Let's Play, cheating. Several more little spiders. And one huge one up there. Which has trouble getting through these passages, but can do it. But we'll get torched by the traps in as I will. Come on. Not aware of where I am.
I do like their ready stance.
Yes. Right, I'm going to summon the other one. Yep, didn't mean to do that. If you jump over these things, for some reason it doesn't set them off. So, the Atronach was up. Starting to come down from the ceiling. Alright, I guess I gotta go back up there again. Oh look, there's the spider. Well, it's not as huge as I was expecting. Typically it's like a truly enormous one. But, oh, that is pretty big. It's pretty small. Atronach, you're hiding. That doesn't do me any good. Okay, so that spider will kill me in one shot. But luckily it'll have trouble getting over here and it'll get burned along the way. If I heal up, I can probably take one shot of poison. Oh, my Atronach is fighting it, and it's doing a good job. The thing is standing on the flames, and the Atronach doesn't care about those. I can also use the Feim shut to get around these places. It's another good,
What is
approach.
that distinction?
Oh, that's the Atronach stone working.
Oh, that's what the place.
Wow, the Atronach tore that thing apart. Because it was standing on the flames, that's why. Okay. Can't expect intelligence from a spider. So another opportunity to use that Feim shout on Ethereal.
Fire!
Dum, dum, dum. More spider corpses. If I was doing alchemy, extracts are great ingredients. You can make some very expensive potions off them right out at the beginning of the game. Good stuff. You have to burn the web. Now, let me just point out here, in real life, webs do not burn, they melt. And Skyrim is actually pretty close to that. Unlike most video games where they, like, go off like they're made of gasoline. No, it's clear. Whoa! Rumbling. Dragons. I do like how the Nords have these stylized Viking ship-style dragons. It's fun. Anything Viking is fun for me. The first time playing this, I expect them all to shoot flames or something like that, but no, actually, they're just kind of here to greet you and congratulate you on being the Dragonborn and whatnot. So, the horn is Dragonborn. We'd speak to you urgently. Rent the attic. They stole the horn. A friend, huh?
Do all that effort.
Probably a trap. Especially because Hjalti remembers very clearly that inn. Because the innkeeper was very suspicious. And there was no attic.
Well, Hjalti deduces that either this person is unfamiliar with the inn and trying to lure him into a clumsy trap, or is trying to deduce whether he is familiar with the inn.
Something killed these Draugr. Perhaps the person who came through here killed them, and, well, I won't go there immediately. That would be walking into this obvious trap. I'll do some reconnaissance first.
Hjalti is intrigued to note that whoever came in through this back route and killed these Draugr did not take any of the treasure, so evidently not motivated by money. So probably not one of the 12 or so groups of assassins and thugs currently trying to kill him. Perhaps whoever did this was a superstitious Nord like Onmund, and thus didn't want to loot the tomb for that reason.
Off I go. Here's the obligatory and much appreciated little door back to near the beginning. And that's Ustengrav cleared. Now I can report back to the graveyards. Very good dungeon, very good rewards. And I'll soon get the last word with truly great early game useful shouts. But it's a lot of walking before I can do that, and might consider hitting up Solitude first anyway. If for no other reason that there's one of the best clothing stores in Skyrim there, and they might have an Amulet of Talos. Also, I know I can guarantee to get one going into Solitude, so I'm definitely doing that. General goods merchants have a low chance of having random amulets. The clothing store has many, many different kinds of amulets. They often have it there. But you don't need it anyway because Solitude is a guaranteed one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but isn't Solitude also home base of the Imperials?
Yes.
And they're selling amulets of Talos.
I was just wearing them on the streets, yes. And the Thalmor don't mind if you walk up wearing them.
Maybe
Even the guy looking for secret Talos worshippers doesn't mind that. And will send you to root out another Talos worshipper.
Oh my.
But elves are stupid.
Maybe they just think you're wearing it ironically.
Well, I cleared that place. There's a Stormcloak camp near here, which I will go to because they have a functional smith there, and the town does not have a functional smith. So, switch back my spells.
Which time is it?
Morthal.
Oh, okay.
Has a wizard, and he's probably out and about on his secret midnight errands at this point. Where's the staff? Has a wizard and an alchemist. Appropriate for a creepy old town, I guess, but no smith.
I guess there's not much ore in the marsh.
Actually, back in my distant homeland in the Far East, New Jersey, during the Revolutionary War, a lot of iron was taken out of the marshes there, because you can actually find a certain kind of iron in bogs, in particular. Doesn't need to be mined.
Really?
Quite accessible. Yes. Used to make cannons, things like that during the Revolution.
Yeah. Any particular canon?
No, unfortunately, it's not the canon which rightfully belongs to my alma mater records, but was stolen from us by the scoundrels at Princeton. Led by Winston Churchill's grandfather, believe it or not. That's a story I could tell sometime. So here's the
I
quartermaster
long to be out there with my brothers,
doing
waging
alchemy
war
instead of
against the Empire.
She got bored?
any kind of good boots here. I've sadly lost those boots that I had that one playthrough. Respectable boots. Very respectable boots. But I can probably get a better enchantment. Heavy, but not bad. I'll strongly consider those. Heavy, but... no. Frost is not that useful to resist.
Pity you can't just chop off the iron and keep the leather underneath.
I know, right?
Maybe that would break the enchantment.
But buy some iron ore. No sinister reason, mind you. It's a unique enchantment here, but pretty worthless. I'm not doing enchanting anyway. So I'll sell off this heavy stuff and that heavy stuff, and vampires have unique armor for some reason. I would think, if I was a vampire, I'd probably be trying to disguise myself.
You also probably wouldn't be attacking the guards at the beginning of the hole.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like me either. Which reminds me, anytime you go into a city at night, there's a chance of random vampire attacks, so be aware of that. And the worst thing to do is just kind of walk away and forget that can happen. Because if you do that, they'll often attack random NPCs and kill shopkeepers, so you lose shopkeepers for the entire rest of the game, which makes it hard to sell your stuff, so it's a disaster. So anytime you go into a city at night, loiter around, wait for vampires to attack you, and then deal with that yourself. You'll thank yourself later. Wolves. Oh dear. Hard to tell from just a silhouette up there. Deer. Okay. Oh dear. Here's a small Nord barrow. Okay, that's what that symbol means. Love this setting. Those look more like... No, also deer.
I'm always curious that the deer on shelf is red.
Yes. I mean, so do bunnies. Even with Fury, those things won't attack you. I really was expecting some of the Monty Python Killer Rabbit thing the first time I Fury one of those.
Me too. I wonder if there's a mod for that.
I think there's just like a chest here, not much else of note. There we go. Oh, darn. Isn't Karstag the name of that frost giant in Soulstone where I've never been? Julianos, it's like it's taunting me. Every end but the one that I care about.
Now, where do you get to Soulstone?
Well, I've never actually been there myself, but I believe you take a boat from Windhelm.
Okay.
And I'm 90% confident you've been there. You showed me, actually.
Yep. I wasn't sure if you were talking about, Soulstone itself or the little island that I think is called something else.
Oh, I have no idea. I've never been there.
Yeah, it's like Dark Elves everywhere, but I don't think it's actually called Soulstone.
Oh, is that called Raven Rock or something?
Yes.
I think I've heard of that place.
Raven Rock is like the city dock.
I didn't know that was an island, but I guess it makes sense from the name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to exploring this place, but Hjalti has no reason to go there for a long time. And I found a way that makes it fit into his storyline a bit better, so I'll be saving it for quite a while. I do intend to do the Dawnguard questline too eventually.
I'm not sure how you know about the Ice Giant, and I didn't, though. Maybe I fought him, I just don't remember.
I think, from Morrowind and Blood Moon, I knew about him, and then I kind of read there's a reference to him in Skyrim and looked up more about it.
Oh, I probably just didn't notice then, because I don't notice references usually.
Not the games you haven't played, anyway.
Have you played Morrowind?
Nowhere near as much as Skyrim or Oblivion, but I know a fair amount about it. I've just always hated its mechanics too much to ever really get into it.
You know, of course, how much I despise luck-based mechanics of any kind in any game. And Morrowind is full of it. Everything in that game is luck-based for no reason. It's terrible.
Oh dear.
Whether your attacks hit or not is luck-based, how much damage they do is luck-based. If you're hitting them with your sword, it just goes right through them apparently sometimes. It's so stupid.
I thought about playing it, but maybe I will save my money.
There are other good things about it, but people rightly praise the story compared to the Elder Scrolls games, but just so much garbage in terms of the mechanics.
As far as I'm concerned, Skyrim is the only game in this series that's actually fun.
The other ones have good stories and atmospheres and great stuff like that, but they're often just like a miserable slog to actually play. I wouldn't go so far as to say Morrowind is one, but Oblivion is.
A
So,
miserable
a
slog.
miserable slog. Which I spent many hours on, but
Let me know if there's anything I can help you with.
Alva here will often flirt with the innkeeper who's creeped out by her. Despite being a dope in other ways, maybe suspects that this person...
There ain't much to offer.
Oh look,
But if you want
she's a
place dry to
vampire.
spend the night, I'll rent you a room.
You would think like the sister of the ultimate conjurer who can cure vampirism would have some kind of clue about vampires, but no. Do I still have my room? Yes, I still have it.
You just
Okay.
rented a room for me. Let's sate that appetite. Hmm?
Well, Yes, honey nut treat indeed.
Ooh, pie.
Meat pies. It has a crust. That's like a sweet, sort of.
Yeah.
Why, good evening.
All right then. What can I get you, Alva?
What can't you get me, sweet?
That doesn't even make sense as a flirt. Step up your game, Night Stalker.
No, I don't think I'm hungry. Not now, at least.
Right. Okay. Tell me if you change your mind.
Well, I've changed my mind about sleeping in this place. There are no doors.
Oh. It's even worse.
Yes. You can be up for a while?
You already spent the money.
I've got an idea. This is a use for... Oh, don't I have this? I thought I bought Fire Room.
Oh, wait, I know. That's one of those tomes and items that I lost with that missave incident. Oh well.
She's gone now. Screw it. Alright, and that's where we'll end. Have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day.